Happy HBK Wellness Wednesday and happy full moon eclipse day. Today is the first time that we have a full moon and an eclipse on the same day in a couple of years. So it's kind of a big deal. And for all of my fellow sky watchers out there, if you were lucky enough to be on the West Coast or Australia or the Southern Hemisphere, I'm so super jealous because we only had about a 2% chance of seeing it this morning in Maryland, and it was like 4 in the morning or 7 in the morning, something crazy. It was super early, way earlier than I thought I was gonna get up, that's for darn sure. I was up earlier than I expected, but not quite at 4 a.m. And by the time I was up, the sun was up, so there was no seeing the moon. But what's interesting is for people who follow astrology, which I've been getting more curious about as I tend to be sky watching a bit more, there've just been so many cool events. You remember when Saturn and Jupiter were so close together, how cool that was? So stuff like that has just gotten me interested in ideas and thoughts about the skies above. And in looking at that, one of the things that I read was that eclipses are about birth, death, and rebirth. We were chatting about this today at work. One of my coworkers has been lucky enough to actually see the solar eclipse that happened a couple years ago. And she talked about how it's really understandable how ancient peoples would look up and see things like this happening, like the sun suddenly going out for 3 to 7 minutes, or the moon suddenly turning blood red for a night, and get a little freaked out and have sort of these surreal religious experiences. And they assign meaning to those things, which I don't see as a bad thing, especially if we can use it to motivate ourselves to our goals in our modern lives. So the eclipse, birth, death, rebirth, is all about letting go of things to allow more of the goodness to come in. And that has somewhat to do with my little poll I'm holding on to right now. Yesterday, we talked about, from my broom walking workout, not gripping too tightly on that broom handle and how that drives up blood pressure, how it can cause issues and all kinds of problems with our health if we're holding on too tightly. So I advise people to wrap their fingers around and not use their thumbs so you don't grip as much. But this got me to really thinking about the fact that we tend to grip onto other things. We grip onto that fat in the middle, at least our body does. We grip onto our foods in one way, shape, or form or another. And we hold on to things, and that keeps us from bringing and allowing in that health and wellness we are looking for. So it got me to really thinking about some of the different ways, and I know we've talked about many of these. We've talked about liver cleanses on this channel. We've talked about gallbladder cleanses, but what about just overall detoxing or overall cleansing? We haven't really talked about some of those sorts of things for just general health and wellness or ways to do that. When we talk with the liver, we talk about drinking water or hot water with lemon in it. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Very key when it comes to allowing the body to flush things out of its system. Another fantastic way is sweating. We don't just sweat to cool ourselves, we also, as we sweat, we release those toxins. So if you have the advantage of being able to go into a sauna or even a warm bath, warmer than normal temperature, not super hot, or if you have a jacuzzi, getting that body temperature up, that sweat on, is a great way to do this. Other ways are, we've got an elimination system. Our sweat is one of those elimination systems. When we drink lots of water, we start kicking in another elimination system, and it has a secondary component to it as well. And really making sure that we have those good bowel movements can be very important. I might have told you guys last week, Heather, my amazing nutritionist, emphasizes really we should be aiming for 2 of those a day. And there's a whole host of things we can do to help the body help itself Accomplish that goal without laxatives. Very, 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 very key. Without laxatives. We want to help the body move things more efficiently so that we let go and we can let in more of that health food. So those are some. What ideas do you guys have on that? One of my personal favorites, I've talked to you guys about all those 10 different forms of magnesium. Got to be careful with which one you use. Some can really have that laxative effect on you, others less so. Finding one that works for you to help keep things moving in a balanced way can make a big difference. Vitamin C, again, when we start getting that tickle in our throat or that cough, extra vitamin C is a great way to do that. Some holistic practitioners will tell you, do that until you start experiencing that looseness in the backside, and then back down by a gram from there. For me, that does not take much whatsoever, but you may need a different dose. One of the things that actually frequently can help with that, looping back again, is making sure you're hydrated. Because remember, you got to have a good water balance in order to do that as well. What other detoxing ways do you guys know of to help flush out and move toxins? One of my other favorites, and I don't know if I've talked about it, but I can go in more detail. Comment below if you want to see more of the information about this, but is a detox ionizing foot bath. Those work really well. And I might have told you guys, because I kind of remember I said this on the channel, funniest, best testimonial ever was from my stepfather. When my mother bought one of these many years ago, long before I had one, he said it was the best hangover cure. So that was kind of what convinced me that no matter what you believe about your holistic health, those things can really make a big difference. A vibration machine or a milkshake machine also helps move the lymph. Remember, help the body, help itself for those detoxes. So all of these are great ideas to help us let go a little bit easier of things that we're holding on to a little too hard that are probably preventing us from allowing that fantastic wellness to come on in. All right, you guys, that was my HBK Wellness Wednesday for the week. Just some fun things that I've been doing over a long stretch of time and have learned about. Very briefly touched on all of them. Just thinking about ways and other ways and things we can let go. What other things can you guys think of? Letting go of negative thoughts, negative patterns, negative emotions. All of those things count. How do you do that? Let me know by commenting below. Also, let me know what you guys want to talk about. Should we talk next week about increasing our efficiency in our reps? No class on Monday, so I'm looking for topics and themes. Let me know. And it always means so much to me when I see you guys like and share my videos and watch my little tiny channels grow. Thank you all so much for supporting them. In the meantime, I'm Kiona Leah. I want to see you move, live, and thrive. So I'll see you on the next one.